Oh man, I don't even know where to begin this review from. I mean, how would you exactly review a reel? Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now and remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today, I think I have probably already watched the worst film of 2025. It may be there in my list next year. Don't be shocked about that. The film I'm going to be discussing is the new Telugu film Game Changer, which is starring um, Charan and directed by Shankar. Now, I'm stuttering here because I'm absolutely flabbergasted by the product that I've actually watched. I mean, there was a time in which Shankar, the director, was regarded as a genius. He actually did get technology on celluloid, the use of technology on celluloid, and the kind of themes that he was, tackling over the years was quite commendable. But what has suddenly happened? I mean, Indian 2 was clearly, which seemed like an aberration, was not. Because you have Game Changer as well, which is equally bad, if not bad. And I have no hopes from Indian 3 as well. I mean, this I'm actually flabbergasted. Let's get to the story and screenplay. So if you're interested, Game Changer is essentially a good versus evil kind of a film in a political setup in which the protagonist, who's first an IAS, then briefly the chief minister, and later on an election commissioner, fights against the system and particularly the CM candidate that is there in order to eradicate all the misdoings of his. Now, the problem with this is that India as a country has also evolved politically, so naturally, this kind of, the cinema that is there will seem stale, right? I mean, the problem with Shankar is not that his filmmaking has changed. The problem with Shankar is that his filmmaking has not changed here. And that is a huge problem here because the entire film, that you see, it's almost like one reel after another, one reel after another, one reel after another. It's like one montage sequence after another. And that kind of got, annoying. Just to give you a little perspective, at the start, you are introduced to the protagonist who's, is going, he's already an IS officer, he's the district collector, and he's going to his new posting in which he's stalled by the goons, so to say, which are sent by the rivals of his college. So random sequence. I mean, it's just outright random. But okay, it's a commercial entertainer. You signed up for that, although that's no excuse, so to say. But yeah, it's still a commercial entertainer, but it's so random, that entire sequence, that they actually come there, they're beaten up to shit, and they actually, the protagonist, leaves in a helicopter out of nowhere, and it just cuts to, a dance number, so to say, all of a sudden. I mean, there should be some coherence to the drama, right? I mean, even if it is, a mass masala entertainer, disguised as a political thriller, okay, you still need to have coherence in the drama. You cannot just make things so random. Another instance being, how does the protagonist, decide, to punish the greedy builder, by blasting the mall in 2 minutes, like almost it's like a 2 minute Maggie noodle stir that is there. I mean, it's like kind of, what should I say, it's kind of quick and just so superficial, so to say. Even, some of the other goons that are there, how does he punish the bad ministers? He just snaps and they just, sucked into the sky. you, I mean, the bar of entertainment can really not be so low. You need to ask yourself, is the bar of entertainment this low for you to like such films? Clearly, for me, the answer is a overwhelming no. It cannot, the and I'm sorry to to completely down regard the film. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into a film, and it pains me every time I criticize it, but I will call it out if it is bad. I mean, I'm not going to hold back just to to flower the film and reward mediocrity. I'm not here for that. I mean, it can be any language for that matter. It's not only because it's a Telugu film, it can be even a Tamil film or even a Malayalam film. If it is bad, I will blast it on this channel. So I'm sorry, the precautionary measure is already there. I'll give you another instance from the film. I mean, another instance being that how would you show the anger management issue of the protagonist? There's a literal anger meter that pops up right besides the protagonist that is there, and it kind of swindles each time somebody does some mischievous action against him. And even the love story here is so cringeworthy. I mean, so cringeworthy. Imagine this scene. I mean, it's kind of infuriating that these scenes are still being passed in 2025 for all I care. There is a scene between the protagonist and his love interest played by Kiara Advani. In the scene, you see that her pallu falls, and you see her assets. Where the protagonist almost freezes. Cut to, she adjusts her pallu again, and the focus shifts on a navel, and again the protagonist freezes, only for him to say that let's do a half marriage, like we'll adjust the other part of the marriage for the family later on, which what it implies towards. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous and cringeworthy. Coming to the main plot, though, the main plot is of the good versus evil, character of Ram, who's the protagonist, versus the character of the CM, who's by the start of the film an aspiring CM. And so there's something that happens that invariably turns the tide towards him. There's a needless backstory sequence that is there, which very faintly links it to the main plot. It's almost the equation between these two characters is like Tom and Jerry. I mean, they kind of are hilarious in their own ways, but unintentionally so. Now, you remember Shankar's film Nayak, and one of the reasons why Nayak works and is relevant even today is because of the characterization. You see these two individuals that are pitted against each other, but one is automatically the underdog who's taking on the system here. But the fundamental mistake that this film makes is to make its protagonist a superhero. He's not a Nayak, he's a Mahanayak, he's a superhero here. And so it definitely, it translates, you exactly know what is coming your way, and it's almost like I did this, now you see what I do, something like that, when the two characters are pitted against each other. So I really didn't care, once, the game of upmanship that begins when he becomes the election commissioner briefly after, being a CM for an hour. It's kind of all messed up, and if you find my review being disjointed here, it's exactly what the film is, because the film follows a similar trajectory. Even the emotional quotient is so ridiculous that you have an emotional moment, and the protagonist moves on the very next day, the very next moment. In fact, it's almost like a reel within a reel within a reel, and how do you convey emotions, which is why I don't like reels. Many people have asked me, why aren't you making reels? Is because of this. The attention span of the audience is assumed to be low, thinking that okay, we need to make things fast, which is clearly not the case here. I mean, it's kind of symbolic of the love that you've given me even in these moderately long form videos that are there, and that's testimony to the audience and the assumption that the filmmakers think that reels are meant to fast forward things, which is kind of ridiculous. So at the end of things, I didn't really care, who won, who lost. You exactly know there was this word, used for the protagonist's action, saying that, oh, he's unpredictable. It was anything but unpredictable by the end of it. So overall, the screenplay is, kind of, it's a mess. It's ridiculously bad. So coming to the the technical aspects of the drama, the dialogues, the music, and the direction. The dialogues are reel-induced to a point that the how to show aggression through the lines is only via shouting and screaming. That's one way to to simplify the emotions that are there. I would assume it's also unintentionally funny and cringeworthy, the lines that are there. The music, though, by Taman, I really like the music here, and although the songs stall the flow of the drama. Thankfully, they do, by the way. The music still makes an impact. Even the BGM, they try to use the central theme of the song, of the note of the song, and use it at various points in the film. It did try to make an impact. So, kudos to the technical aspect as far as the music is concerned. Cinematography, again, it's kind of, there's no salvaging this, with so many shots that absolutely do not make any impact, so to say. There's not one moment that I was standing up and saying, okay, this is a mass worthy moment, I need to clap. It just, I was disconnected from the film, from the character, from everybody. Even the editing felt so so bad, so patchy, that it felt like a reel within a reel within a reel that was again badly edited. It's like, imagine you are editing a reel, but it's again badly edited, in front of that. It's similar thing that I felt, while watching the film. Director Shankar was once a genius, and I have high regards for him as a director, but he really needs to go back to the drawing board. I mean, this cannot keep going on. You cannot destroy your own legacy, you need to analyze, you need to, to restart and get back, to the business that is there, because there's no way to put it. The direction is purely bad. There's really no way to put it, and I'm saying it in a very courteous and a good way. This is the best way I can put it. The direction was bad. There's no two ways about it. Coming to the performances, I think the performances also, either the actors are going overboard or they are sleepwalking through the film. I mean, talented actors, like Jairam, who's, I've seen some of his Malayalam films. He's a terrific actor, but here he goes terribly overboard, with his performance. Anjali is the only character probably who's understated, but she barely has anything to do. Let's face it. Even Naveen Chandra doesn't leave a mark much. He's a good actor though, but again doesn't leave a mark. SJ Suryah goes woefully overboard, with his performance. I mean, he's such a terrific actor. He's a wonderful actor, make no mistake about it. I have enjoyed his films, I have been a fan of his films, but there's no saving this. I mean, the kind of, the tone of the character is so high that there's no redeeming quality, neither from the acting nor from the characterization point of view. It's just one note, and SJ Surya is better than that. Let's put it that way. Kiara Advani is, just used as a prop, and that's a huge disservice for the talent that she has. I think she's a talented actor. You saw that talent in Satya Prem Ki Katha, and she's a good actor actually, but here it's completely been a mess. I mean, she's just used as eye candy, which is such a shame, such a shame. Ram Charan, I feel sad for Ram Charan because he's actually done a good job here. He's understood the source material and how much to, to measure his performance, how much to go overboard with it. But Ram Charan cannot save a wobbling ship, even if it's a good performance. It's a good performance at the end of the day, but it has come in a bad film. So overall, Game Changer, it's almost like a Reel-Induced Nayak. It's like watching this YouTube video on 144p. It's that bad. There's no redeeming quality except partly for the music, but otherwise it's a total mess. But if you've enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. I promise I won't judge you. I respect all your opinions that are there, as long as you're civil to me, and I'll be civil to you again. But if it's bad, I'll really need to call out the film, which is what I have done here. So I'm sorry if anyone's, hurting, or if anyone from the industry is watching it. I'm really sorry, but it needs to be called out. You can't have mediocre stuff, not in cinema. It can't be a habit. So that was the video then. Remember to like and comment on the video. Share what did you think of the film that is there. Remember to like, it fuels the YouTube algorithm. Share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together, just to throw away from 3K subscribers, and that's the new milestone of the channel that is there. Also, if you'd like to read my detailed review of Game Changer, it's available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I write a lot. All information is on my site and on my social media handles. I'll see you again soon tomorrow just to complete the list. I had taken a couple of days off with the list that is there, but the top Hindi films of 2024 are remaining. I'll complete that list and probably I'll make another one for the consolation Malayalam films that missed out on being the top 10. Lots to look forward to on the channel. So subscribe and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.